The last video for chapter 4 is kind of working with fractions a little bit more. And what I want to accomplish in this section is emphasizing to you that every single fraction in the world is a division question. Okay, so every single one. Your top number is your numerator, bottom number is your denominator. And what you do with that fraction is you take your top number, let's say this is, we'll use 1/2. So 1/2. That is 1 divided by 2. Okay. And lots of you already know what that is as a decimal, just because. But if you had to do long division, you'd actually do it like this. Okay, so it'd be 1 under the hood there, divided by 2, and you go ahead and follow the same process that you always do for long division. Okay, so every fraction, every single fraction that you see, you can treat it like a division question. Okay, so what I want you to do right now is I want you to pause the video, and I want you to, I don't care what you do, you can use a calculator if you want, or use long division, doesn't matter, and figure out what these fractions are here, these 6 fractions, what they are as a decimal. Okay, so pause the video right now. Okay, so here are the solutions to these ones. 1/5, if you do the division, is 0 and 2/10. 2/5 is 0 and 4/10. 4/5 is 0 and 8/10. 5/8 is 0 and 625 thousandths. Let me double check that one. I'm pretty sure that's correct, but 5 divided by 8. Yeah, that's right. Okay, and 1/8 is 0 and 125 thousandths. Okay, and last but not least, there's this one. Okay, we take 3 and we divide by 10, and we get 0 and 3/10. So now every single one of these has an end. Like when we plug these into the calculator, we, like this one for example, we see those numbers, 0.2. When we do it long division, we end up with 0 as a remainder and nothing else to bring down. Okay, so they actually have an end. Every one of these fractions that you see here end. Or another word for that we use in math is called they terminate. That means they end. Not that they die, like in the Terminator, but that they just end. They stop. Okay? Okay, so we've kind of already gone over this. Now, the opposite of that, of a terminating decimal, is a repeating decimal. And that's what I want us to look at right here. For example, if you have this one right here, 1/3, that's 1 divided by 3. And if you put it in the calculator, you're going to get this right here. If you do it long division, you're just going to keep getting, you're going to keep bringing zeros down and getting 10, and 3 will continue to go into 10. You'll see if you give it a try. Okay? But this will go on for eternity. It just keeps going and going and going. Those are called repeating decimals. Okay? We can write them in 2 different ways. And you need to be able to write them in both ways. And we're going to pause in just a second, and we're going to do these ones right here. But 0.33333333 dot 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 dot. We can write as such, just like what I've got there, or you can write it like this. This is called bar notation. Okay, I didn't like that. This is called bar notation. This is where you put a bar over top the number that's repeating. Now, sometimes you can get a repeating decimal that's more than 1 digit. Actually, I'll show you in just a sec. So 0.161616 da 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 da. And it keeps going. So in that case, you would put the bar, get rid of those, you would put the bar over the digits that are repeating, right? So go over the 1 and the 6. Okay. So let's look at some examples here. Let's look at these right here, and you can pause it and hack your way through these if you want. I'm going to do the same. So this one here, when you do the math, when you do it on your calculator, you get 0.1111111 da 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 da, and it just keeps going. So with bar notation, you would write that as 0.1 with a bar over top of the 1. Okay, 2/3, you're going to get 0.6666 da 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 da. It just keeps going. Now, just so you know, if you plug that in the calculator, it'll go 0.666, and then at the end of the screen on your calculator, there'll be a 7 at the end. That's just your calculator doing some rounding. So just so you're aware of that. So we can also rewrite that as 0.6 repeating. Okay. This one here, 2/9, 2 divided by 9, you're going to get 0.222 dot dot dot, and it just keeps going. So there's only the 2 is repeating, right? So the bar would go over the 2. Okay. 1/11th. 1/11th, that is 1 divided by 11, and you would get 0.0909 dot, 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 and just keeps repeating like that. So what would the bar go over? The 0 and the 9, because those 2 digits, both of them, are repeating. They're the ones that are repeating. Okay. 1/12, that's 1 divided by 12. That gives you 0.08333. So what's repeating in this answer? Just the 3 is. So the bar would go over the 3. 0 and the 8 aren't repeating, but that 3, we get to that 3 and it starts to repeat. So that's the one that we put the bar over. Okay, and this one here, 1 divided by 6, we get an answer of 0.166666 da 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 da. Right? And so your bar would go over top of the 6. Okay, so that's the difference. Terminating is when you do the division and you have a nice short little number here. It comes to an end and it's over. That's terminating. Repeating decimals is when you have a number that just keeps going, or a combination of numbers that just keep repeating themselves. That's a repeating decimal. Okay, that's all she wrote.